Paramhansa Yogananda's Hong-Sau technique of meditation. The Hong-Sau technique is a scientific method for resting the heart, thereby increasing longevity and liberating a vast amount of life current, or energy, to be distributed over the whole body, renewing all the body cells and preventing their decay. It's an excellent technique for withdrawing your mind from the senses and internalizing the attention, deepening the concentration and calming the mind in preparation for deep meditation. Is a technique in which you focus on the inhalation and exhalation with two seed-syllable bij mantras, Hong-Sau, which is pronounced as Hongsaw. This mantra works on a pure vibrational level by stilling the mental energy in the form of restless thoughts and purifying the ego. Hong-Sau is the inner sound of the inhaling and exhaling breath. It also calms and interiorizes the prana in the body. The mind can never be focused without a mental object. Therefore, you must give your mind an object that is readily available in every present moment. Your breath is the closest object. Every moment the breath is flowing in and flowing out through your nostrils. The concentration technique of Hong-Sau, practiced by deeply concentrating intently on the breath with total attention, trains the mind to stay focused like a one-pointed laser beam. By training your mind to maintain a concentrated focus on a single point on the breath while following it with the mantra, the other techniques and meditations that you practice will become increasingly deeper. Hong-Sau means I am He. I, the manifested self, am He, the unmanifested spirit, or the Absolute. By consciously repeating mentally the seed-syllable mantra Hong-Sau, in conjunction with the concentration on the breath, we affirm that the ego self is one with the infinite spirit. Hong, as the inhaling breath, represents the contraction of consciousness into finitude. Sau, as the exhaling breath, represents the expansion of consciousness and the reabsorption of differentiation and separation into pure unity. In essence, Hong-Sau is the eternal, universal, unspoken, primordial vibration or name of God. The holy name, the primordial vibration and God are one and all permeating. Hong-Sau is the natural sound of the breath. Hong with the inhalation, Sau with the exhalation. Throughout the 24 hours of the day, the breath flows in and out 21,600 times in a continuous mantra of Hong-Sau. Unknowingly, we are all repeating this mantra in a process of automatic and continuous recitation. In yoga, continuous recitation of a mantra is called a japa. The japa becomes a japa when the mantra gets repeated in the mind on its own. The difference between a japa and japa is that a japa goes on subconsciously all the time, while japa is done consciously. The great Kriya yogi Paramhansa Yogananda, as a young boy named Mukunda, would sit in meditation and practice Hong-Sau meditation technique for 7 hours at a time, until he achieved a deep breathless state. Yogananda said that we can reach states of spiritual bliss in longer, deeper practice of the Hong-Sau technique, and that to become a master in this life, you should practice Hong-Sau for 2 hours a day. To master your mind and transform your life so that you become inwardly free, practice Hong-Sau. Yogananda called the Hong-Sau the baby Kriya, the actual Kriya meditation technique that has been passed down through a succession of enlightened Kriya masters from Mahavatar Babaji to Paramhansa Yogananda. The Kundalini life force flows in the spine and rises up through the chakras to the pituitary gland at the Agya chakra, and then it is offered to the divine at the crown center, the Sahasrara, above the head. Yogananda said that the purpose of Hong-Sau technique is to help you to free your attention from outwardness and to withdraw it from the senses, for breath is a cord that keeps the soul tied to the body. By dispassionately watching the breath coming in and going out, one's breathing naturally slows down, calming at last the peace-disturbing activity of the heart, lungs, and the diaphragm. So let us let's prepare for the practice of Hong-Sau. First we do tensing and relaxing. Sit in a comfortable and steady meditation posture with the head, neck and spine aligned. Relax the mind and body by inhaling deeply and holding the breath. Then while retaining your breath, tense all the muscles in your body. Hold the breath and the tension in the muscles for a few seconds. Then simultaneously release the breath and the tension and relax. Repeat the process of tensing and relaxing 3 times. So double breath in, hold the tension in the body, double breath out, exhale, release and relax all tension, and again, double breath in, hold the tension throughout the body, double breath out, exhaling all the tension, and completely relax, and feel the relaxation and the flow of energy into the body. Now remain sitting still and concentrate your relaxed attention at the point between the eyebrows of the spiritual eye. Let go of all thoughts and be totally centered in the present here and now moment. Place your hands, palms upward, on the knees in Chin Mudra, the gesture of consciousness. And close your eyes and relax with your awareness on the natural breath. Keep the body still and bring your attention and awareness to the frontal part of the brain at the point between the eyebrows, at the spiritual eye, the seat of spiritual consciousness and intuition. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the practice of watching the breath with awareness. Watching the breath is a present moment experience. Interiorize your mind by deepening your attentive awareness and concentration. Now, with your body and mind still, uniting your mind with the present moment, begin the practice of Hong-Sau. With closed eyes and without straining, gently lift your gaze upward to the point between the eyebrows, and with steady concentration and calmness, look into the spiritual eye. Feel the natural breath flow in and out of the nostrils. Feel the tactile sensation of the breath and try to feel where the flow of breath is strongest in the nostrils. The sensation of breath is subtle, and yet it is quite distinct when you learn to tune into it. Once you have found the point where the breath is the strongest in your nostrils, and this is usually just inside the tip of the nose, then concentrate on the breath at that point. It is from this point that you will follow the whole passage of breath. Use this single point sensation inside the nose to keep your attention fixed. Observe each breath with attention and precision in present moment awareness, taking it one split second on top of another. In this way, continuous and unbroken awareness will eventually result. Then, as your mind becomes calmer, begin to feel the sensation of the air that passes in and out of your nostrils, higher up in the nasal passages, by the point between the eyebrows, at the seat of will and concentration. As your concentration deepens, your breathing will slow down and you'll be able to focus on it more clearly, with fewer and fewer interruptions. As you concentrate on your breath, make no attempt to control the breath. This is not a yoga breathing exercise. With the calm attitude of a silent observer, just let go and allow the natural process and flow of breathing go along at its own rhythm. Inhale deeply, then slowly exhale as the next inhalation naturally arises and flows into the nostrils. Feel the breath where it enters the nostrils, and at the same time mentally repeat the seed-syllable mantra Hong, which rhymes with song. Imagine that the breath itself is making the sound, and as the breath flows out naturally of its own accord, at the same time mentally repeat the mantra Saw, which rhymes with saw, S-A-W, is spelled S-A-U, saw. Make no attempt to control the breath, just allow its flow to be completely natural. Remember, the process of Hong-Sau is not a breathing technique, it is simply being consciously aware with the concentration on the Hong-Sau mantra as the breath flows. The sound of the breath coming in and going out is the repetition of the Hong-Sau mantra. Feel that the breath itself is silently making the sounds of Hong-Sau. Continue gazing into the spiritual eye, the seat of spiritual consciousness, and as the breath naturally flows in, simultaneously mentally repeat the mantra Hong. As the breath flows out, simultaneously mentally repeat the mantra Saw. By concentration on the breath gradually diminishes. This gradual, subtle refinement leads naturally to an interiorized meditative state, and when the mind is united with the breath flowing all the time, you will be able to focus the mind on the present moment. If your attention wanders or thoughts or feelings interfere with your concentration, be more alertly intentional and focused by keep bringing your attentive awareness and concentration back to the practice of Hong-Sau. As you practice Hong-Sau, the vibration of the inner self, you may become aware that the pauses or spaces between each breath are increasing. Follow your awareness. Now the breath is flowing in. Now the breath is still. Now the breath is flowing out. Now the breath is still. Now the breath is flowing in again. Now the breath is still. Be aware of this stillness, a fraction of a moment between each breath, and focus subtly on that fraction of a moment where both the breath and the syllables of the mantra arise and subside. The stillness of the breath occurs at the point where the breath is retained, which occurs naturally at the point where the breath is held. As these pauses or intervals of breath suspension between the breaths grow longer, enjoy the meditative bliss and expansion into the freedom of infinite spaciousness while inwardly gazing into your spiritual eye. By silently observing the breathless state, you let go of the identification with your body and realize that you are something other than the mind-body senses. You realize that your body is sustained by something other than the breath. In the timeless moment, the stillness in between breaths of the breathless state, you perceive the present moment of the reality within you. This is the space of the innermost self. Enjoy that experience of expansion into the freedom of infinite spaciousness while inwardly gazing into your spiritual eye. Then, when the breath naturally returns, continue with the practice of Hong-Sau. During and after practicing Hong-Sau, remain in the inner calmness for as long as possible. Remember and feel that inner calmness from your meditation and remain calmly centered within yourself, allowing the calmness to permeate your everyday consciousness as you go about your daily activities. In this way, your mind will be filled with fresh spiritual thoughts and inspiration, and you will feel a higher joy. You will then be at peace with yourself and with the world around you. Constantly remember that you are an immortal spiritual being destined to be fully enlightened and liberated from all of the psychological conditions and influences that cloud your awareness and perceptions of your true nature and higher reality. Aspire to be fully conscious and self-aware rather than want experiences that provide emotional comfort. So continue with your practice of Hong-Sau. Make it a regular practice every day, and it will help to deepen your concentration, it will help to calm your mind, and it will help you to go into meditation more deeply. It's an excellent practice that was given by Paramhansa Yogananda of the Kriya Yoga tradition, and it's something that you can practice every day and gain benefit from it.